Hello students, myself Veena Sharma, Associate Professor Botany, SPC Government College, Ajmer. In our lecture series, we are talking nowadays about biotic factors. We have already discussed climatic factors and edaphic factors. In last lecture, we discussed what are biotic factors and a brief overview of the different combinations, different type of interactions found in nature. Now we will discuss these biotic factors in detail, and as we know, there are two types of interactions found in nature. One is positive interactions and the another one is negative interactions. So first we will discuss about positive interactions. Odum categorized various interactions among organisms as positive and negative interactions. First we will take positive interactions, where both or one of the interacting populations are benefited. Means when two populations live together, one population is always take benefits of the other, and the other one might be neutral or it will be harmful. So, or both are beneficial themselves. Then first we will take the example, we will take type of interactions, means commensalism. Commensalism, in this association between members of different species, only one is benefited and the other is neither benefited nor harmed. Here two or more populations, they live together without entering into any kind of physiological exchange. They live independently, and the examples of commensalism are lianas or the climbers. They are the woody vascular plants. They are also called as woody climbers. They are rooted in the ground and use the support of other trees to grow upwards and maintain the erectness of the stems. They are generally found in tropical forest where the understory vegetation does not receive much sunlight. Hence, plants like lianas, they climb up the supporting trees or shrubs to get enough air and sunlight. On the basis of the device they use for climbing, they may be twinners or thorn lianas or tendril lianas. They maintain no direct nutritional relationship with the trees upon which they grow. They are independent, they are rooted in the ground. Examples of these lianas are Bauhinia, Ficus, Tinospora, etc. Second type of relationship which is found in commensalism is epiphytes. As we know, epiphytes are the plants which grow on some support, for example branches or leaves of other plants, in order to get sunlight, air and moisture. They differ from lianas in that they are not rooted into the soil. Epiphytes or the hygrophytes are most common in tropical rainforest, means they absorb atmospheric humidity for their water requirement. These are mainly members of family Orchidaceae, Ericaceae, Asclepiadaceae and Bromeliadaceae. For example, pothos and usnea, lichen and orchids or the hanging mosses, they are very well known examples of epiphytes. Epiphytes are quite economical in their use of water. Like pothos or other orchids, they have special roots called clinging roots. We can see here the epiphytes which grow on the tree trunks they are not rooted in the ground, and the supporting organ is branch of a tree. They have got two types of roots, means climbing roots or aerial roots, hanging roots or aerial roots. The climbing roots which are here to help them to anchor to their support, but also help them to extract as much as moisture from the bark of the tree over which they live. Orchids have special type of roots like hanging aerial roots, which have a special layer of tissues. They have got filament tissue over the root surface. Here you can see aerial roots or the hanging roots, and here you can see on outer this is the section of root of an orchid, and outside of the root epidermis you can see very well a velamen, multi-layered structure, cells or the layers, velamen tissue over the root surface. The cells of the velamen are whitish and they act as a sponge in absorbing the available atmospheric moisture or the raindrops or dew. Such roots are called hygroscopic roots. Means the hanging aerial roots are hygroscopic roots with filament tissue in them. Some epiphytes, they also possess hygroscopic hairs. Hygroscopic hairs means such type of hairs which absorb the moisture present in the air. The plants on which epiphytes grow are not harmed at all in any way. They are independent and the epiphytes are independent. Some epiphytes show intermediate gradations between epiphytes and parasites, as well as between epiphytes and lianas. For example, for Nephrolepis, in the beginning it remains rooted in the soil, but later on it spreads its rhizome over the tree trunks on which they live. Sooner or later it becomes completely separated from the soil, thus becoming an epiphyte. So these are some type of relationships found in epiphytes, and they are examples of commensalism. There are several commensals which make temporary contact with other organisms. For example, in animals like squirrels or monkeys or snakes or birds, they use trees and other plants for shelter, substratum or breeding sites. Some similar situations are found in nature with associations between a variety of microorganisms and higher plants. For example, rhizosphere, rhizoplane, phyllosphere and phylloplane. Rhizosphere means the zone of soil around the roots of higher plants, and they support insects, they support microbial activity there. Rhizoplane means surface of roots growing in soil. On surface of roots there are so many microbes found. Phyllosphere means layer of air above the green leaves with an active microbial life. On the surface of the leaf we found so many microbes. Phylloplane means the leaf surface. Phyllosphere means the over the green leaves, means not attached to the surface but around green leaves. It is phyllosphere, and phylloplane is the leaf surface. So all these they form important ecological niche harboring rich populations of mainly fungi, actinomycetes and bacteria. The metabolic oxidates of sugar and amino acids are constantly released into these places, these rhizosphere or phyllosphere, which form the basis of nutrition for microorganisms found there. It has been established that some microorganisms, they are present in the soil and air in proximity with higher plants. They produce certain growth regulatory compounds comparable to auxins. Hence, they influence plant growth and development. And these are the situations where may belong to comprehensive or mutualism, or even gradation between the two, depending on the conditions present during the specific kind of associations. So these are some examples of commensalism. Lianas and epiphytes are important. Now the other type of positive interaction found in nature is mutualism type, where both the species, they are benefited from each other, and sometimes this association is in obligatory associations. Means we can take examples of lichens, symbiotic nitrogen fixation, and mycorrhiza. So we will discuss about these type of relationships, these mutualistic relationships, in detail in our next lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.